Sonicstate here at Synthfest 2023. I'm back here with Ben again. We've just looked at the Beat Friend, but you've got another thing here, and it's called the Weather Station.
Sure is.
So what on earth is this?
So the Weather Station, it's anyone's guess what this does. It's,
right.
It's a crazy machine.
Okay.
Basically, it is an ambient soundscape player.
Okay.
It has a whole set of patches. Each of them is built of 4 loops that play alongside each other and fade in and out. It does a certain amount of glitching between loops, and it will randomly kind of decide where to take stuff. The idea is that this can play for hours and hours and hours. It never really repeats.
Okay.
You can have it in the background. It has an inbuilt speaker, so you can literally just plug it in the kitchen and have it make nice background noises for you.
Okay.
But obviously it's got a line out as well and headphones.
So headphones and line out and power. Yeah. So no other connectivity. So you don't.
No, this is a fully standalone machine.
Fully standalone. Okay.
Obviously you can record it and chop it up and do what you want with it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very much a sound generating device. Like it's not responding to anything.
Okay.
And you can play it.
Yeah.
But in a very confused, limited way.
Okay.
So the patch plays its thing.
Yeah.
There's a turbulence knob, which as you turn it up will just increase the chance of glitches happening and loops swapping around and things fading at different rates.
Nice term, turbulence.
So you won't hear anything super instantly, but in the background
will
it's
start
like
to
making things happen.
Okay.
This is like a little sequencer, which basically takes tiny grains of audio from one of the loops in the patch and uses it as a little sequencer. So you can play in a sequence, and then you hit this enter key, and it'll just start looping that. And then this is like a delete key to stop and clear it, but you start that in, and it'll kind of happily carry on. It's very subtle to start with, but if you start bringing in these effects on it, you can then hear like.
And this is an audio computer that's got a similar layout to the effects on the Beat Friend.
Exactly. Yeah, we call this the Triforce. So it's 6 interconnected effects.
Right.
Each of which, so there's kind of one on each side of these, and each one of them is affected by the other 2. So one of them might be a delay, for example. There's a delay in there. You can turn the delay up, but then the other 2 effects will affect the feedback of the delay. So you kind of just have to play around and find something you like. And so we've got like grain length, reverse grain length, bit crushes, delays on different parts of it. And the idea is that it's kind of a mystic triangle. If you take it too far out of whack, it kind of, you get a storm, and you have to bring it back in again.
Nice.
And then, of course, once you got the effects on, the turbulence also affects those.
Oh, the turbulence affects the effects parameters.
On all the parameters of the effects and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, once this is up, it'll do the, you know, you can see the turbulence getting slower and faster as you turn it up.
Yeah.
And the turbulence will also start playing with the sequence. It'll take notes in and out and add them randomly. So you can really leave this running for days and it'll never repeat itself. It'll just keep getting weirder and then getting quieter. It'll sometimes stop the sequence and then start it again. So you have a certain amount of control, but not too much.
So the note choices then, does it follow any kind of musical rules and scales or?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
It basically just takes the audio of the loop. So you put in, for example, this loop has like faded guitars and things. It'll take that big chunk of audio. It automatically finds 5 different bits of audio that have a little bit of a peak to them.
Right.
And assigns them to these different notes. And then that's it. You sequence them and it'll just play those. So because all of the loops have been prepared in the same keys and the same kind of, you know, vibe, they fit together nicely. But once it's doing its thing, it's doing its thing.
So what did we say? What does the top?
Oh yeah, this one, we need a label for this one. This one swaps around the order of the 4 loops. So basically,
okay.
You'll hear it just change. So you'll have a different loop playing in the background, a different one will be assigned to the sequencer.
Okay.
So now you can hear that sequencer has like quite a different sound to it.
How does the patches work on here then? So is that different loops in the...
It's just like a full, complete different set of sounds. So far we've only been listening to this one
patch.
Repeating patch.
Yeah.
So you can switch over to another patch.
Okay.
And so it keeps the sequence playing, but it's sequencing bits of audio from a completely new set of patches.
And then just turn that one down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, very, very different sounding.
Yeah, so we're still, I think we've got about 16 patches on here. We're aiming for about 25. The idea is that there's going to be a patch for any mood you want. So, you know, you put this on in the background and you just find a patch you like, play some buttons, leave it to do its thing for a while.
Is it, so I mean, obviously with the one speaker, is it mono output or is it stereo?
Yeah, it's mono output.
Mono output, yeah.
We may do stereo at some point, but because of the way the effects work, we need kind of stereo in and out on the computer. It all gets more complicated and expensive, basically. So for now, it's mono.
But with a built-in speaker, then I guess this would be quite good. You know, if you wanted it for sort of like a meditation purposes, keep the turbulence low. Find find like a patch which kind of suits your mood.
Yeah.
You know, so will the patches then? Would they be sort of like would there be like a patch list that would have terms that might help people find the moods?
Not planning on it. I kind of like the idea with this that you just have to discover it.
You have to discover it.
You just have to like...
You might remember then that number 3
yeah,
is...
they'll have numbers, yeah. Okay. You just got to turn things around and find something you like.
That's nice. And, so it really is about finding it, exploring it yourself and...
it's something to play with and in a way it's quite... I mean, it's a very meditative kind of machine. Even just trying to figure out what it's doing is in itself quite a distracting meditation. And then once you've got it there, it sits in the background and is just a beautiful thing to listen to.
Okay, well, so availability then. This is a prototype or this is...
This is like a final prototype, I'd say. We got a few more bits to do, but it's getting very close. So we're aiming to put the Beat Friend out first. So that's aiming for like early next year.
Yep. So we've shot a video of the Beat Friend, so make sure you check that one out.
Yeah.
So then
the weather station after that. So I'm going to take a wild guess at like mid next year sometime. We can likely
similar price point to the Beat Friend.
Yeah, I think so. It's a similar machine.
400 to 500, somewhere around there.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much.